Hello and welcome to another reading. So because we are in the month of May, I wanted to do a reading about what changes you can expect in your life. Not just for this month, but just whatever's coming up, any type of changes. Because this is the 5th month and the number 5 usually tends to represent some sort of change. So that is why I chose this specific topic. And if you do want to suggest future topics or ideas for videos, you can always become a member of my Ko-fi. So remember, this is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate. You can choose one of these 3 piles, or you can watch more than one, because the messages do or might connect sometimes. And the timestamps will be down in the description box below. If you do want a personal reading for yourself that is catered to you specifically, you can commission a reading from me. I have 4 different types of readings, 3 of them ranging just, by different price points, and depending on if you want a very quick reading or if you want something more like in depth. And the 4th reading is specifically your purpose, so your soul blueprint of who you are, what you're about, what your purpose or goal is in this lifetime, where I use basically numerology, astrology, and combined it with an in-depth tarot reading to give you a full path in your life of who you are, what you need to change about yourself, what you need to work on in order to become the powerful you that you should be. Okay, so if you're interested in any of those type of readings, all the links are in the description box below. Now let's get into your reading. Hello group 1, welcome to your reading. So we will, this time around, I usually do the oracle cards first, but we'll do that one last. So let us see what changes you can expect in your life. What upcoming changes? Okay, so your upcoming changes is that things could be slowing down for you. There's a huge lesson in patience at this time. So either this could be 2 different messages, okay? So it all depends on who's watching and what your life is like. So for one type of person, your life will be slowing down. The changes that are coming could be either boring for you, or if they're boring, if things are boring and mundane now, that is what is going to change and shift for you, because it's like as if you have been focusing on the wrong aspect, right? On the lack, on what you don't have, on what you wish you had, and things like that. But you actually do have opportunities around you. So by being patient and choosing to be still and in your silence, you will be able to see the opportunities that are around you. Because when you're silent and still, and you aren't placing your judgments on things, you aren't in like your head too much, but just allowing things to be and to unfold in front of you, that is when you will see a lot more than what you have before. And something regarding either family or finances, something is going to either be stagnant and things are going to sort of slow down and just be still, Or for the other person, this could be that the opposite, right? So if it has been still and not going anywhere, things are now going to shift and things will pick up. So underneath the deck, you do have the Tower card. And this isn't a daily little change. This is a huge shift in your life. So something is breaking down, but it's telling you to be calm, reflective, and just allow things to happen. Allow life to show you what it needs to show you, okay? Because a lot of times we do resist change instead of adapting and allowing life to show you its lesson, right? To show you what you need to know, what you need to learn, what you need to change about yourself or your environment, right? So even chaos can be a teaching moment for us. Maybe you might learn something about yourself you never knew before, but you have to take it step by step, okay? Don't allow the chaos and the breaking down of things to suddenly make you react in some sort of violent way. So what is changing? Your emotions, your emotional status of sorts is changing, it's shifting. It seems like whatever this change is, it is trying to get you out of that soul cage or that mental cage. The Devil card is present here, and the thing with the Devil card is that you actually hold the power to free yourself from whatever this is. Whether it's a bad habit, whether it's some sort of addiction, allowing things to possess you. And I don't mean demonic possessions, but just like maybe material possessions, or maybe other people to have control over you, right? All these, you are the one giving that control to others, whether it's things or people, okay? So you have the power to get yourself out of that by just choosing, just saying no, having boundaries, okay? It's all about the temperance here with balance, balancing everything, knowing your limit, not overindulging in anything. Because even if something is healthy, overdoing it can be toxic for you, right? Just like we need to drink water, but drinking way too much water can actually lead to death, right? So anything, overdoing anything is bad for you. So be mindful of that, okay? So let's see what your oracle has to say. So you got inquiry, destroyer, and death. So the changes here that are coming into your life is being more present in the moment, having the ability to ask what you need, maybe from other people or from life in general. With the destroyer here with Shiva, it feels like an energy of not looking back anymore, but destroying, not exactly destroying your past, but destroying that bridge, because you want to move forward. Even with the death here, something coming to an end. So it's possible that some aspect of your past, maybe some trauma or something that maybe you have been healing all this time, maybe that is what is finally going to be healed, right? That is going to die down. And remember that when something triggers your trauma, or even if it's not a trigger, even if perhaps it's coming into the forefront of your mind, right? It's not buried anymore, but somehow every now and then it's starting to surface. That is a huge sign that it wants to come out. So stop resisting, stop burying it down again, and try to acknowledge it. Be in that space, allow it to come out. Okay, allow yourself to create a safe space for that trauma to surface up so you can think about it, see it, ask yourself questions. What do I have to do to heal this so that I can move forward, and see what answer quickly comes to mind. When you are asking yourself or your higher self questions, the questions that is correct, that is being passed down to you, is the one that comes in the fastest. It's not the one that you come up with, or that you sort of take a time to think about it. No, it's the one that just shoots at you. Okay, so that is your answer. Now sometimes you might think of the answer before you even ask the question, so try to be mindful of what's you and what's coming to you from a higher source. But don't be burying your past if it wants to come out, because it wants to be released. Your soul, the real you, is doing its own healing inside of you, which is like, it's basically cleansing itself, right? In order to cleanse itself so it can move forward, so it can have the space it needs to start taking in new opportunities and new aspects and learning new things, it needs to let go, it needs to purge, right? So it's not healthy when the real you, the soul you, is trying to purge something while the physical you is trying to burying it down. You then come out with basically warring with yourself, right? There's this clash, and that's why you are then triggered easily and annoyed easily by other people, or irritated, or you have anger issues, is because you are in war with yourself. And that is what the destroyer and the death here have come to you to help you, because so many people are scared of death. And I don't mean like the process, but I mean the character, right? The persona of death. Death doesn't come to kill you off. Death is a friend that comes to help you transition from one life into another. Okay, it is a friend. It's someone that you learn from, someone that is a companion beside you, someone that is like a janitor within your life that is helping clean away the debris that you're leaving behind, right? So any past memories or things that you don't need, things that are dragging you back, right? Death is sort of cleaning it behind you, okay, until one day it's you that it needs to take, right? So embrace even the darkness, because it's not evil, right? Death isn't evil. The destroyer isn't evil. These are aspects of life that need to be there in order for for a cleansing to happen, in order for you to find light, in order for you to gain new opportunities, right? There needs to be some aspect of darkness in order for that light to come in. And it's not an easy path. Those of us that do work more in darkness tend to be more alone, right? And misunderstood most of the time. Because many people think that we're dabbling in evil things because it's dark, but not everything in darkness is evil, just like not everything in light is good. So when you are asking for protection, when you're asking for the light to surround you, don't just say light, because negative, basically, beings can also be made of light. You want to ask for the protection of loving light, right? Because then you are focusing on love, on the positive. Okay, so don't just always just say light. So those of us who are usually working in the darkness, we are needed because we're doing the heavy lifting, right? The things that doesn't come easy to other people, things that are maybe intimidating to other people. We have a purpose and we are needed to do that work. Just like in society, how you have people working in mines, in sewers, as garbage collectors, like CSI, or people like coroners or morticians, right? These are all heavy and dark type of jobs, but they are needed in society. Someone has to do them. And that's why these people need to be really well respected in society, because it's not an easy job. It's technically a calling. Not everyone can do them. Even doctors and nurses, right? Not everyone can see blood or dead bodies, or look inside bodies and look at organs and have a steady hand to do like brain surgery, or to do sutures and sew people back up and stuff. Not everyone can do these things. And that's why we need to respect even those dark type of jobs, just like these things here, right? Destroyer and death. Even we need to even embrace and respect them, because they do something that not everyone can do, and they possibly feel that pain when this chaos comes up. But it's something that is necessary in order to shift things and create something better. So let's see what else we get. You got Odin with guidance. You got beauty. And you got play with Loki here. So it's possible that the change that comes up for you possibly helps you see life in a different way, right? Because when you get guidance from someone wise, right, you tend to have a shift in perspective. They tend to help you see things in a totally different way, because they may have more wisdom and more experience than you. You have only what you have experienced, only what you have learned, right? So when someone else comes along and shows you a totally different perspective, because they have seen more than you, you then start to, there's this shift that happens in your mind, okay? And because the shift happens in your mind, it automatically creates a shift, like a ripple effect within your life. Okay, so there is some sort of shift, or a different and unique perspective regarding beauty. And I don't mean that in a physical sense, but something within. Okay, so possibly a shift within your life where you aren't seeing life in this serious tone anymore, but almost like a game, right? With Loki in play here. Almost like you're seeing how beautiful life can be if you only shift your perspective or perception of it and see it like either a video game or like just something you can have fun and play around with, experiment with, right? Maybe take some risks once in a while. Because yes, our life can be very heavy, especially globally, with things that are happening, whether it's natural or planned disasters or plagues or illnesses or dimming of the sun or, all these different things. Yeah, we got a confirmation. All these different things can weigh heavy on us. But the powers that be in our world, they want that heaviness to truly fall heavy on us because they want us in a negative state of mind. Because when we're in that state, it's easier to control us. Just like when someone is panicking, it's easier to get what you want from them because they can't think straight. They're panicking, right? So we're easily controlled when we are in a negative state of mind, when we think that everyone around us is our enemy, when we hate others just because it's different to us, or we're not used to, their sort of ways, or their look, or their ideas, right? But if you change your perception and you start to focus on what makes life beautiful and how amazing it is when people help each other out, when you can go to the store and say hello to other people and create like environments around yourself where other people feel so much comfort and appreciation and safety, suddenly the world feels different. Okay? So that is what changes are starting to come up into your own life. Seeing the beauty, even in the midst of this chaos that is happening, seeing the beauty that exists inside of you, outside of you, around you, and all over the world. Noticing people helping other people, noticing the beauty of a bird singing, or a grasshopper hopping around, or a butterfly just fluttering, or even that welcoming breeze, knowing that life exists beyond you, beyond all this. Because even if these globalists shut down everything, even if they destroy us in the process, life will still go on, because nature always finds a way. Right? So embrace the changes that come to you, even, where is it? Even if they are as chaotic as the Tower card, and you did get 2 death cards here, right? You got Hades death card and you got this mermaid death card. So something in your life is coming to an end, whether it's inside of you or outside of you. But that is a conscious decision. You have to, once and for all, make the decision of this needs to stop. I need to heal this thing, or I need to create these boundaries, because I'm not allowing my energy to be used this way again. I'm not allowing other people to walk all over me again. Okay, I had enough of giving my energy, my presence to people that will not respect me, that do not appreciate me, that do not appreciate my efforts. This needs to stop, and it's ending now. Be firm in that. Choose yourself once and for all. Okay? So group 1, I wish you guys luck. I hope that whatever change comes, that you are strong, graceful, and remember with the Knight of Pentacles here to be patient. Okay, be patient. Because even if things are going slow, they are still moving. Things are still changing. You may not notice them because they aren't huge, but it's going one step at a time. Okay, so best of luck to you, and I'll see you next time. Hello, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. So, first we're going to do your tarot. Let's see. What can you expect? What changes can you expect in your life? Okay, so the changes that are coming in for you is you are going to be healing and isolating yourself, because you will need to do this due to some sort of heartbreak or some sort of healing that needs to be done. Life will sort of guide you to finally accept this and move on from it, right? To heal whatever this is. This could be something that is coming up. Maybe some sort of heartbreak might be coming up for you. So this shift will cause you to be more internal and to isolate yourself. But this is a good thing, because by isolating yourself, you will be able to start healing yourself from this heartbreak or this sort of baggage or something that is weighing you down mentally. After this time of mourning and healing, that you will, with the moon card here, and because the mermaid is singing, a couple of things could happen. You will start using your voice in a way that represents you and who you are. Because it's possible that this heartbreak or this situation, this heavy situation that already has come or will allow you to see things, or maybe even learn things about yourself. Now you won't, because this is the moon card, and when it's dark outside, right, the moon can only show us a limited amount of our surroundings, right, because it's not as bright as the sun. So it could be talking about using your intuition. This could help you, it could help you unlock possibly your intuition, or because of how, with the Hermit card, how isolated you put yourself and worked on yourself and been more reflective, it's possible that your intuition becomes stronger, because now you're not functioning in an exterior mode where you're constantly talking and, being energetic, but now you are more internal and you're more observing and allowing things to unfold in front of you. And because of that, your intuition heightens, right? So this could be something about you and unlocking something inside of you, which could lead to some sort of purpose in your life. Because with the Judgment card, it's talking about karmic lessons. So something that you do or will have to learn, or you're being called to something greater than what you had before. Because remember that any type of loss in our life, whether it's losing an object or losing an actual person, right? If it's death related or they just walk away or move away or whatever it is, any type of loss, no matter how small or big, it creates a space where something new will come in. Okay, because everything is a dance of balance and duality. So if something gets taken away, something else needs to be put in. And it might not come right away, but it will come. It's talking with the Two of Pentacles, it's talking about a balance. This could be a physical and mental balance, like trying to balance out perhaps your internal and external forces. And underneath the deck, you got the Three of Cups. So this could be talking that the change that comes to you is possibly a change of friendships. Maybe you mourned, or the fact that some or all of your friends that have been your so-called friends have pushed you away or walked away from you, and you end up finding new friends, or even new ways of hanging out and having fun with your friends, maybe becoming more closer with them and having deeper conversations. Enjoy music, which is interesting, because even with the star card here, right, she's blowing on through a seashell, which can create sound, right? And then you got the moon card here with her singing. And then now you got music. So something, it says instrument, sound, and tone. So something regarding either music, singing, or using your voice in some way. Maybe using your, using words or your breath intentionally. Focus on children, pregnancy, birth, adoption. So that is a huge change that someone could be going through, right? Getting pregnant or giving birth, because of course becoming a parent for the first time is a huge shift in your life, because now you have this small innocent bundle of joy here that is dependent on you for its survival, for you to mold them into a person that one day they will be in charge of their own life, right? So you have to be mindful of what you're teaching this child, what food you're putting into them. Be intentional with how you're bringing this child up into the world, because you want to make a change in the world, not make it worse or leave it as is, right? You want it to be better. So even if you do have children, maybe instilling better ways, right? Just because you were taught one way doesn't mean you have to teach your kids the same way. So maybe teaching them meditation and stillness and breathing techniques and better ways to manage their emotions. Maybe slowly starting a shift of a better diet for them so that they are more health conscious, and so that they don't have the potential of certain illnesses that run in the family. Because a lot of illnesses that do tend to run in the family that are genetic or whatever is because of diet, because people have been eating the same diet for generations, which might be bad for them due to, body type or blood type or things like that. Connect with Mother Earth. Plant, garden, harvest. So this type of change that could be coming in for you isn't, see, group one, their change was more intentional, where they're the ones that had to change things. But here for you, this is more natural. This is a type of change that will gradually come in for you naturally through life events and what the universe, what the great consciousness, how it works behind the scenes, what opportunities come your way, and slowly it will gradually and naturally shift for you. You might not even notice the shifts, right? I mean, some shifts like this heartbreak card with the Three of Swords, that might be, emphasized in your life. But what comes after it, it will slowly and gradually work its way up, okay? You got spirit guides, insight, guidance, purpose. Go with the flow. Let go, rest, manifest. And respect your physical body. Detox, rejuvenate, and relax. So the insights that you need, okay, the knowledge or your intuition to become stronger, you will not achieve it if you are in stress, if you are constantly moving fast through your life, or eating unhealthy or stagnant and just not moving and doing anything. Insights will come to you when you are flowing and going along and adapting to situations on a daily basis, okay? When you're allowing things to just be and not resisting, not being combative and at struggle with life, okay? When you're allowing and just letting go, allowing things to be, breathing, being in that mindful stillness, okay? You can be active physically, but being still in your mind, that's when insights come to you, okay? And this change seems to be all about your body, respecting your physical body, detoxing, rejuvenating, relaxing, just like I mentioned with the focus on children card and bringing them into the world with a better diet than what you had. Because even if your parents got you candy and things, doesn't mean you have to do that for your child. What about making homemade nutritional meals that instead of sugar have honey, right? Because honey is more natural. It's more beneficial to the body than what sugar is. Homemade will always taste better than what you can get from a store or what you get from a restaurant. Because in restaurant they may cut corners. They may microwave their meals, which is bad for you because you're eating a pack of radiation. They may get cheaper ingredients. They may be lazy in the process. And not only that, but if you got 10 people to make the same recipe with the same ingredients, each one of those meals is going to taste differently because of the energy that was put into it. So you have no idea how stressed or angry or annoyed or hateful someone in that kitchen is that is making your meal. Homemade will always taste better. So do things for yourself. Don't cut corners. Don't be cheap with yourself. And I don't mean like spend a lot of money, okay? Save money and be conscious of how you're spending and things like that, but don't be cheap in the sense that you want something quick, so you're just gonna go to McDonald's and buy it, okay? Because you're doing worse for yourself. Don't allow your laziness to make your life more toxic. Underneath the deck, you have be an open channel, mediumship, ancestors, and spirits. So when you are in the right state of mind, when you have healed this baggage or this thing that is weighing you down, you will open yourself up to the great consciousness, which is the universe, which will allow you to get messages more easily, okay? Your intuition will skyrocket. You will then know what you have to do on a daily basis, where you have to go, what you're being called to do. And you will move through life with so much more magic and so much more purpose. Okay? So group 2, whatever changes come to you, remember to go with the flow. Adapt. Be mindful. And just let it be. Okay? So that's all I have for you guys. I wish you guys luck. And I'll see you next time. Welcome group 3. So before we get started on your oracle cards, we'll do your tarot first. So what life changes can you expect in your near future? Wow, right off the bat you got the Tower card. Nine of Cups. You got the Queen of Pentacles. So this is interesting. With the Tower card here, there is a huge shift and change that is coming into your life. Things will have to break down in some aspect. This could be at work, maybe losing your job. This could be a breakup of a long relationship. Like, this isn't an easy thing. This isn't just like something, oh, you get over quickly. This is a huge breaking down of something. Some sort of shift. It could even be that what you were working towards, that you make like a, it's like what you were working towards, instead of going that path, some shift happens where you suddenly just swerve and do like a 180 and go into something totally different. So for example, let's say you love fashion, right? And you were on this path of becoming this, fashion designer or something related to fashion, and maybe you were on the computer doing your designs in this program or whatever, and something unlocks that suddenly you go into programming. It's like some sort of huge shift where what you expected doesn't happen, but leads you in a totally different path of life. So perhaps you go on like a little retreat or a little mini vacation, right, for a week, someplace you've never been before, and something just unlocks in you and you're like, I'm gonna live here. And then instead of that just being a vacation, when you go back home or whatever, you start making plans. You're moving the hell out of wherever you were, and you are going to live in that place, right? So something you didn't expect. I mean, you had plans where you used to live. You had a job, you had whatever. But this sudden shift is like, no, I need to be here. This place is calling to me, and I need to be here, right? So suddenly your entire life gets picked up and just shifted somewhere else. Okay, that could also be something like that. The Tower card doesn't always mean bad. But even if it feels bad for you, so like let's say you get fired from this job you really loved or that you were in a long time at, or if it's a long relationship, that comes to an end, and you're thinking, what was the point of all these years wasting this person, that just this comes to an end. There is a purpose, because what comes after is the point. Okay, this shift isn't the point. Whenever something bad happens, that isn't the point. It's what comes after it. And it seems that whatever this change is, what comes next are blessings of wish fulfillments, of a creation of magic, of enjoying the abundance you get. Because whatever this change is coming, through chaos comes, it's like unexpected happiness. Okay, so let's see what else you get. So whatever this change is, you will gain strength from it, or it could be encourage you to be strong while moving through that chaotic energy or that shift, right? Because even if it's a new beginning, even if you're like uprooting your entire life to move somewhere else, unexpectedly, whatever it is, of course there will always be challenges, right? It's not like it's going to be suddenly like a Hallmark happy ending type of movie where you move and you already have friends and you're opening up your own business and things are moving smoothly. Like, of course, challenges will come up. Okay, that's a given for anything. Even if you love a specific job, there will always be boring parts about it or kind of challenging parts about it, right? So that's a given. So it could be telling you to be strong, okay? Or this change and this happier sort of events and aspects of your life that are coming because of this huge shift or chaos, it could have taught you to be more stronger, to be more resilient and graceful. Okay, because strength doesn't always mean brutal force and, masculinity. Strength is always also about being stoic and being graceful and having your own morals and values, right? Strength comes in different forms. It's not always forceful. It's not always combative. Strength can also be about being still, standing tall, standing strong, not giving in. So the shift that comes from this could teach you a lesson about not allowing yourself to go along with what others are doing, right? Being more strong in your mental energy. Because 5, like I said in the beginning, in the intro, 5 can be the number of change, right? And this is the 5 of swords. Swords represent the mind. Okay, this is mental energy. So a change in your mind, in knowing that sometimes going with what others are doing can lead to bad situations, right? Being influenced by other people can lead you to dark paths. So this is a lesson that is being learned by this, because we don't know what happened. Like, I don't know what happened before this Tower card, right? The Tower card is the first card that came out for you. So I don't know what the situation is about. Maybe you have been influenced by a friend group and now you need to leave them behind because you need to learn. And maybe it's people that have been preventing your success, and finally walking away from them no matter how hard it is, no matter how scary it is to be alone and by yourself, that actually leads you to your blessings. Because now you don't have other people being jealous and giving you the evil eye, or trying to steal your abundance from you, or your, as some people say, destiny swapping. Like, I personally don't believe that someone can just swap destinies with you. Your destiny, your purpose is your own. That is a soul contract, and no one can just take it from you willy-nilly, okay? So maybe perhaps walking away from that toxic people, even if it's your family, finally leads you to your blessings, because they might have been the ones holding you back. And being strong and having boundaries and learning the lesson of not going with what others people are, influencing you to do, or even not allowing other people to take your energy or use your energy for their benefit while you're uncomfortable, or making other people feel comfortable by doing things just what they want while you're uncomfortable because it's not what you want, right? So stopping that and having those boundaries is what gets you to the Nine of Wands, which is being quiet and just working on your journey, working on that project. And remember, don't ever, don't ever tell people, no matter who it is, don't ever tell them what you're working on or what you even plan or hope to do, because that could actually push you off the path and something could go wrong. You don't know if people are jealous of you. You don't know what intentions people have with you. So never tell anyone, even if they're your best and greatest friend, don't tell them what you are working on. Okay? Only announce it when it is done and it's pushed out into the world. Let's see what your oracle says. You got the dolphin collar, pure, joyful friendships, loving help. You got the leap, ecstasy, bliss, belief. And you got the green man, rising energy, surge, fertility. So you will learn how to be on your own, how to use your energy in order to call in the things or the people that you need in your life. Okay, you'll learn how to be an actual individual, how to stand on your own without feeling lonely. Okay, because alone doesn't always mean lonely. Alone can be peace of mind. Alone can be tranquility and serenity. It could be harmony. Okay, but it doesn't need to be lonely. Usually the people that always need to be around other people, that need to have large groups of friends, and need to be in the spotlight, those people are the most alone, because they're not fulfilled on the inside. They are trying to fill a void by all these different people and these different environments and going clubbing and going, they have a huge void inside of them. It's people that are always alone and comfortable in their loneliness that aren't ever lonely, that are so fulfilled deep inside that they don't feel the need to have friends or whatever. I mean, sure, they can have them, but they don't have to be around them constantly. You're going to learn to take risks and take leaps. And what will fuel that type of energy inside of you is your belief. Because through these events, through this experiences that you're going through, you're going to learn how to take that leap of faith and how to have faith inside of yourself, because you will feel comfortable being alone. And through that is when the abundance comes in with the green man, with nature giving you everything you feel that you need deep inside, of that tranquility, of that peace of mind, of not having to look for comfort and reassurance in other people, in other places, in anything else but yourself deep inside. You're going to learn to not just be on your own, but live in this sort of abundance inside of you, and which will make you a lot more quiet and observant. You got the Tree of Souls, Collective Wisdom, Kinship Group Library. You got the Secret with Unknown Mysteries and Wonders. And you got the Temple of Dreams, Sacred Dreams, Prophecies, Dream Journeys. So, the shift that takes place, something from the mundane world that creates the abundance, that teaches you life lessons, that allows you to work in silence and work for your highest good, for your purpose, that eventually leads you to this path of collective wisdom. So being more intuitive, getting those downloads from your higher self, from the source, uncovering possibly mysteries and wonders within your ancestral line, or within yourself, or within life in general. Okay, the camera cut off and my battery is very low, so I'm gonna say this. You are a special soul, okay? You have to cut ties with the mundane world and become more internal and more into the spiritual. But I'll have to tell you that you have to beware when it comes to spirituality. Don't ever do things what other people are doing, because that is not your path. To know your path, do things that are more natural to you, okay, that call to you, that you feel resonate with you. Just because you're getting into the spiritual doesn't have to mean that you have to do A, B, and C like everyone else, that you have to be into crystals, that you have to be into, having altars. None of that is required. Spirituality is a personal path. So do what you gravitate to naturally and what you're being called to do. Okay, because your blessings here are gearing you towards an intuitive path of being alone and by yourself in your own stillness, in order to uncover certain mysteries about yourself, or maybe about your ancestral line, or life in general, which lead you to possibly having prophetic dreams, or premonitions, or even being guided to solutions and answers within the dream world. Okay, but your dreams are going to get more intense, because your dreams isn't just you dreaming up stuff. Every time we go to sleep, the real us, the soul us, steps out of our body. We're still connected to it by a cord, okay, so it's not like we die. But we step out of our body and go on these long astral journeys. Okay, so you are a special, and don't get that into your head, okay, everyone is special, but you are on a mission to cut ties with that physical, mundane world, because you're meant to do more. You're meant to be on your own in order to build up your faith. And I don't mean religion, I mean personal faith, what you truly believe in, outside of everything, outside of family, outside of education, outside of media, entertainment. When you go to the bare minimum of who you truly are, what is it that you truly believe in deep inside? Start to build yourself up, because that is when your abundance will pick up. That is when your intuition will heighten. Okay? So group 3, that is all I have for you. I hope this resonated. I wish you guys luck, and I will see you next time.